Hey you guys, welcome back to Darkside Diesel. So today I wanted to show you guys how to adjust your TV cable for your transmission. So on the 47 REs and the early 48 REs, we have a TV cable, which is also called like a kickdown cable. It controls when the transmission will shift from first to second, second to third, and then to overdrive is more from your speed and your throttle position sensors. So what we're going to do, we'll take the cover off and we'll show you how to adjust it, because I built a transmission for this customer, and when we got done with our built valve body, it wasn't wanting to shift out of first until 2200 RPMs and was shifting harsh. So we need to adjust the TV cable so that it would shift earlier and shift a lot smoother. So necessarily it thinks that you are actually giving more throttle input than you are. So when you have the valve body done, the line pressures are increased and the TV adjustment inside the valve body is adjusted. So then we have too much tension on our TV cable now once we all go back together. So we got to give it some slack, that way it's not pulling on it. And so right here we have our cover that we need to take off where our throttle linkage is. So to do that, there's just two Phillips screws. So they're plastic. There's going to be one on top. And then one underneath the radiator hose. So take those two plastic screws out, and then you can use like a body plastic pin removal tool if you want to get under there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So you just pop that out, and then there's, like I said, the one under the radiator hose. So if you get under that one, pop it out. Now that cover's going to come off right here. So just bring it out like so. Move that out of your way. Okay, so now we get a better look at our cable. So this is from the throttle pedal. This goes to your cruise control. Down below it here is for your TV cable on your transmission. So now we've already adjusted this, but I'm going to give you a rundown on it. So we had no slack in that, it was just tight. Okay, so on the back side where the cable sheathing runs into this, so right here this cable runs into here, so it's kind of spring loaded, so when you get the clip it's going to want to move. So what you want to do is mark that first with maybe a bright colored marker so that you know where it was at. Okay, because you're going to need that to adjust it. So you want to know where it was at originally. Now, this black piece right here that's on your linkage, you just need to push that forward. Show you. So. Alright, so hold this linkage so it doesn't move, and then just push the black clip forward and it'll slide right off. It's got a slot in it there. So it just slides over. You'll pull it backwards to clip it back on. Okay, so now you can take a screwdriver from underneath and on top, and then push your two clips in. This little connector here, that if you guys can see it, slides in and out of the bracket, and you just got to push the tab on the top and the bottom in and it'll slide right out. Okay, pull it back and around, bring it up. So now I can show you guys what we did. So we put a gold mark right there in line with this housing, the end of this housing, on our cable sheathing. So now this is the clip you're gonna have to take out to adjust it. The easiest thing to do that I found is put a little pressure right there under the back side of it, so it'll slide out a little bit, but not a whole lot. And okay, so if you pop that out a little bit, you can get your screwdriver under there like so. Okay, and just a little bit of pressure, you don't want to break it, and then come in on the back side over here while you have pressure on it with that screwdriver, and come under here and just pop that up. You'll see the clip will clear this notch over there, and then on the other side too, and this whole white clip will slide out, and this will actually move all of a sudden. It has a little spring tension in it, so that's why you make your mark there, because you need to know where it was previously. So the whole thing is you can mark about 1/8 of an inch from your original mark, either in or out, depending on where you want to adjust your shift points for 1, 2, and 3. So 1/8 of an inch is approximately 200 RPMs. Now, if we move the cable towards the radiator, we're going to lower our shifts. If we take the cable towards the firewall or the cab, we're going to raise the shift points. And we were shifting at 2200 RPMs. So what we did is we moved our cable towards the radiator 1/4 inch. So about 400 RPMs approximately, and we might have went just a little bit further. Okay, so if you're unsure, do a very small adjustment, put it back together, leave this cover off, and test drive it. So we moved it about 1/4 of an inch, move this cable forward in this housing, and lock the tab, and then put it back together and drove it. And at very light throttle, we are shifting out of first at 1600, and with a little bit more input, we're about 1800 is right where we want it. And then at wide open, it's shifting about 3100 RPMs is right where we want it. And then you want to make sure that when you're just cruising, then you stomp on the throttle, it kicks it down a gear, and it works smoothly, and the transmission shifts smoothly. So there's several things to look for, and that's what you're looking for: a good, clean, smooth shift, and at a lower RPM, not too high. And you have too much tension on this cable, you can actually cause it to shift too late and high up in the RPMs past, you know, your rev limiter and stuff like that, and you could hurt the engine if you do it that way. So just be careful if you want to raise it, shift points, you know, just go a little bit at a time, or lower it a little bit at a time. So it's pretty simple. I mean, anyone can do it, and you just got to know which way to do it. So forward on this sheathing to lower the shift points, and backwards towards the cab to raise the shift points. So that way you guys know if you want to do it yourselves. It's not very hard. So once you get your adjustment, put it back in, slide everything through, make sure you route your cable correctly so it's not binding. It's going to click and pop back in. See there. We're back in this housing now, in the bracket. We're going to take our plastic piece right there that's notched. We're going to slide it. We're going to put it over. Then we're going to slide it back. And it'll pop on. We got slack in our cable. It's just how we want it. You can see it's hooked up now. So that's how you adjust the TV cable for what shift point you want at 1, 2, and 3. It's really easy. And if you get some valve body work done, or if you do adjust your line pressure in your TV setting on your valve body, you're going to need to adjust your TV cable so that it shifts correctly, like we did. And I mean, that's it. So hopefully that helped you guys out. You know, super easy. You know, we already did it, and the truck shifts great, and it works really good. Shifts nice and firm, but not too rough, and shifts at moderate throttle, and then shifts at the correct RPM at wide open. So thanks you guys for watching. Subscribe and like,